Let me just start off this video by saying that this is not going to happen, but we've got to talk about it anyway because we are in the business of talking about things that could benefit the Detroit Lions in some way or another. And my DMs are already blowing up with people asking me and telling me about this. So we got to talk about it. I am a channel for the people, but that is according to Jordan Schultz. Micah Parsons requested a trade. That's crazy. And at the Hall of Fame game yesterday, it was a Cowboys fan in front of me. He had on a Micah Parsons jersey, and he was like, man, Jerry Jones better pay him, man. He was talking to another Cowboys fans, and he was like, man, Jerry better pay him, man. I hope he get the $40 million he's asking for. I know he ain't getting it from us because we still got to pay Hutch, and we know how Brad is. He rather sign guys like Marcus Davenport. By the way, I believe in Marcus Davenport. But this is coming from Jordan Schultz. Says Micah Parsons gave the Cowboys everything. Leadership. Well, before that, Micah Parsons has requested a trade out of Dallas. Then he says leadership, production, passion. And now he's asking out because Jerry Jones and the front office played games instead of paying their best player and taking a negotiation seriously. Embarrassing. And other teams and executive are laughing at this. Ha ha ha. La 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 la. Ho 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 ho. Well, you know what? There's going to be a team that benefits from this right here, and it will not be us, which is unfortunate because Micah Parsons is that Super Bowl winning piece. But again, we have to pay Aiden Hutchinson, and Micah has already said that now he wants to be the non-highest paid quarterback in the NFL. So that ain't happening. But again, we still got to talk about it. Now, before we go, and Micah Parsons dropped a whole two-page, two-full iPhone screen dialogue. Then we going to read the whole thing. Let's look at his market value and just go ahead and get this out the way. Micah Parsons, and this wouldn't do this, make him the highest paid, $37 million for a 4-year deal. This does not make him the highest paid, I don't believe. I think the highest paid would not. Where would this put him? It would put him under Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, but above Max Crosby and TJ Watt. So it ain't gonna happen, which is, like I said, we Super Bowl chasing. We are Super Bowl chasing here, but Brad ain't doing this. Brad ain't doing this. Brad assigned a bum. He assigned a bum like Davenport. You know, whenever you can say something, and I know about breaking the bank and we got to pay Hutch. I know it's only so much money to go around. What you hear from me is frustration because we had a guy, okay, Zadarius Smith, and he was too much money. And we still ain't paid Hutch yet, by the way, for some mysterious reason. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is, but we ain't paid Hutch either. Now, again, that could be some dialogue between Hutchinson and the Detroit Lions. Maybe Hutch wants to get the bag, like the bag, and he's going to play out this year to really get it. I told y'all, man, the longer Brad Holmes waits, the more trouble he's going to be in because the better Aiden plays, the more money he going to get, but more money, more problems. All right, so that tweet came from Jordan Schultz. This is going to come. This is actually from, I forgot who, Micah Parsons himself. Micah Parsons himself put this out. This is a long read. I have not read this already, so just bear with me. Here we go. This is what Micah Parsons had to say as to why he requested a trade. He begins, yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports. I don't think so. And make this America's teams once again. So what you saying, Micah, it ain't America's team? Because that's kind of what I'm hearing. Go Lions. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisburg, PA. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. Wow, how did you get here? Wow, I don't want to be here. I no longer want to be held to close the door. I no longer want to be held to close the door negotiations without my agent to close door. There we go. I no longer want to be held to close door negotiations without my agent present. We're going to act like that ain't happened. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. He's referring to a shot that Jerry Jones took publicly in a press conference not too long ago. Says, I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I have purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done. But since there is confusion out there, let me clear some things up. I had my agent reach out to the Cowboys last offseason after my third year in hopes of getting a deal done early. Now, don't forget, Penei Sewell and him was drafted the same year. We took Penei at 7. He was drafted. Micah was drafted at 11. That was Brad's first draft. Okay, Micah was 10 or 11, I believe. I think he was 10. I think Justin Fields was 11, something like that. And Penei has already been paid. Unfortunately, the team did not want to start my negotiations at that point. I was okay with that, didn't complain, and focused on the 2024 season. After the season, I told my agent once again to let the team know we were open to negotiate when they met at the combine. So that was back in February. My agent informed me I should wait for other deals to get done because the price would only go up, but I didn't care and wanted to secure myself as a Cowboy long term. This was before any of the pass rushers deals got done. All right, so that's the first part. Let's cut to me real quick because this just got juicy. This just got juicy because that means that Aiden is going to get the bag. He's going to get the bag. Okay, so it wasn't 2 full screens, but he had to take 2 screenshots. Come on, Micah. Crop it out, all right, so we can know where we left off. So that just tells you that Aiden is going to get the bag. All right, he continues. I knew I would be leaving money on the table, but again, I was okay with that. Again, radio silence as far as my extension. In March, I met with Mr. Jones to talk about leadership. Somehow, the conversation turned into him talking contract with me. So this is with no agent present. Yes, I engaged in a back and forth in regards to what I wanted from my contract. But at no point did I believe this was supposed to be a formal negotiation and inform Mr. Jones Afterward, my agent would reach out thinking this would get things done. But when my agent reached out and spoke to Adam, he was told the deal was pretty much done already. My agent, of course, told him that wasn't the case and also reached out to Stephen Jones. Again, the team decided to go silent. At that point, we decided we would allow the team to reach out to us whenever they decided they wanted to talk. Yet, still not a call, email, or text to my agent about starting negotiation. Up to today, the team had not, and then it goes silent after that. There's not a third one. There's not a third. Wow. Well, I mean, it sounds dirty. Is it? Okay. All right. So there is one more that I almost missed out. All right. We own it. Hold on now. Hold on. We own it. I got to blow it up because it's super small. So that way we all can see it. Okay. That wasn't the case. Again, the team decided to go silent at that point. Okay. Still no call. Okay. Here we go. I know that we're not going to do this, but okay. All right. My agent, we'll start from there. My agent, of course, told him that wasn't the case and also reached out to Stephen Jones. Again, the team decided to go silent. At that point, we decided we will allow the team to reach out to us whenever they decided they wanted to talk. All right, here we go. Yet, still not a call, email, text to my agent about starting a negotiation. Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet, but again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I have made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Wow. That might be the longest thing that I mean, you know what this sounds like, though? It sounds like the Myles Garrett situation, and that money can fix all of this, right? That's usually what it boils down to. So we right now, the only person that I've seen stand on business out of all these pass rushers is really Trey. And Trey coming in, he claims it's for his teammates, not really for the $50,000 that he was losing a day. All right, 20 days, that's $1 million. And you only getting 16 of those. So you need to keep him close to, he could be tapped out, by the time the season start, if we want to be real about it. So I haven't seen people stand on business. I don't think Micah's going to stand on business either. But not only did he made it known, he no longer wants to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Sometimes, and that's the statement that I kind of want to hang on. Sometimes you will hear people request a trade, but they won't come out and say, I don't want to be here anymore. Trey has said, I want to be here. Miles said he didn't want to be there, in so many words. He didn't just come out and say, I no longer want to be a Cleveland Brown. This is the equivalent to Aiden Hutchinson coming out and saying, I no longer want to be a Detroit Lion. I saw a tweet that was shared to me by one of my syndicate people. And the tweet said that teams that could aggressively pursue Micah Parsons would be, I think it was the Giants. It was a few other teams, but one of the teams was the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, again, that is in division. The cost is going to be extremely high, but we've seen in division trades. Matter of fact, our general manager made one. We traded away TJ Hawkinson. We traded for Jameson Williams. We swapped with the Minnesota Vikings. So, as a matter of fact, that was like the same year. I think we drafted Jameson Williams and then traded TJ Hawkinson a little later, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been the other way around. But so it's not out of the question for it to happen in division. However, Jerry Jones, this guy, it's time for him to retire. It really is. But again, the Lions are not going to do this. We know that. I say it's unfortunate because we need that Super Bowl moving piece. We already got one on the other side. And a lot of people, well, how many teams have two pass rushers, elite pass rushers? I don't care. I don't care. How many teams have never been to a Super Bowl? I'll wait. How many teams in the NFC have never been to a Super Bowl? I'll wait even longer, right? So I'm not saying that it's possible. I'm definitely not saying it's probable, but somebody can do this. Will it be a contender? We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, the Niners were also on that group. I think it was the Giants, the Eagles, and the Niners. I don't know how the Niners, but if the Niners made it work, if the Niners were able to figure this out, come on, man. And watch something like this happens. We already saw the Washington Commanders get better. And again, we're not in a position to do this. We got monster people to pay. The rent is due. It is due, period. You've got a contract situation with Aiden Hutchinson, who's still not extended. We're going to have this conversation next year because Aiden's only going into year 4. So he's still, Brad and them got some time. Jameson Williams, contract extension, potentially. Next year, Brian Branch, can't even talk. Brian Branch, Sam Laporta will be on the last years of their deal. Jahmyr Gibbs will be the highest paid running back in the National Football League. You also have Malcolm Rodriguez. It appears we're going to let Alex Anzalone walk. You're going to have to make some tough decisions coming up. But the question that I have for you guys is, what is the price of a Super Bowl? And we're not talking about just, we are a team that has never been. A lot of frustration that you hear from typical Lions fans is being in that group all by yourself that we almost got out of the only NFC team to never appear in a Super Bowl. We were about to leave the Cleveland Browns, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Houston Texans in a league of their own. And we might have won that thing. As a matter of fact, we probably would have. So we would have won the NFC North for the first time, won a playoff game at Ford Field for the first time, made it to the Super Bowl for the first time, and won our first one. Micah Parsons or a guy like that could make that happen. But you're not going to be able to pay 2 elite pass rushers. We know that, but again, I had to get in front of this because my people gonna want to hear about it. It's already my phone blowing up soon as it came out, which I appreciate. I'm just not a criticism. I love it, but I know it's going to want to be talked about, so I got to talk about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What would you be willing to give up for a trade for Micah Parsons? What draft capital? What's the highest you would go? This isn't about Brad and what he's going to do, because we already know what the outcome of that is going to be. I want to know what you would be willing to do, because those are the fun conversations. We're going to do this because we believe in Marcus Davenport. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You can be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. And if you ever see me out in public and you're not too shy, please speak. You are the reason I get to do this. So I want to say thank you. It makes me smile to meet you guys, really. So never, ever not speak. Go Lions.